Hello everybody, this is Dee from Dee's Cute and Crafty, and I'm back with another Christmas decor video for you today. This is video number 7 in my I Love Christmas series, and we have Sammy. Yes, I have finally gotten around to putting together Sammy in all cardboard, quick and easy, smaller version than the original. Let's get into it. I've got some batting and some leftover Dollar Tree chamois. I've already cut all of my shapes just to save time. I have ribbon from Joann Fabrics, and I have a variety of black buttons. I'll be using my folk art and my Waverly. Nope, it's folk art and apple barrel. The apple barrel is in raw sienna and the folk art is in teddy bear brown. So I cut out the shape of the body, and I'm telling you, it just looks like a vase to me. It's just like a circle, and then you put a little top on it. You guys can see what it looks like here. I don't have a template or a PDF or anything that I can download for you guys at this time, but I'm working on getting stuff like that done. So you're just going to need a lot of free cardboard, and I took 3 pieces to make the body. These little banana-shaped pieces or teardrops make the arms, and I had 3 for each side of that. And now I'm doing the head, and the head is, I don't remember how big that is. And I'm not at home, so I can't go look. I'm thinking it is 3 by 3. And then we have the feet, which are 2 by 2. We have the nose, which is 1.5 by 1.5. And the snout, I believe, is 1 by 1. And then little button nose on top of that. So I hot glued all these circles together. And truly, I just took whatever I had in my craft room to make my circles. I used my large paint bottles. I used my small paint bottles. Whatever I had that I could trace around to get my circles, that's what I did. So now that I've got all of my pieces hot glued together, I'm going around the corrugation with some of this burlap. And you guys, however thick you want your bear to be will determine how many pieces of cardboard you cut out. This is very customizable. You don't have to make it exactly like mine. It doesn't have to be the exact thickness of mine. Cut out as many circles of cardboard that you want to get your desired thickness. Again, this is all just inspiration, and I thought I'd bring Sammy to you in cardboard so that if you don't have access to wood, you can still make this cute DIY. So now that I've trimmed everything out in the burlap, I'm putting my pieces together, and I'm not going to hot glue them just yet. I'm just putting everything together to see if I like how it looks, looking at the placement. And you could definitely leave it the color of the cardboard. I think it's cute that way as well. But we're going to go ahead and paint it with that teddy bear brown. So I'm just hot gluing the feet down. I'm going to hot glue down the head. And just an FYI, when you make the neck where the head will sit, make it a little bit longer, because I ended up having to put tumbling tower blocks in the back to give it something to hold on to, as you can see me doing it here. But if you make that piece that the tumbling tower blocks are sitting on longer, you won't have to do that. So that way it will be completely all cardboard if you don't have to extend the neck with the tower blocks. So now I'm just going to get my arm placement, and we're just going to hot glue the little arms down on the side of his body. This came out really cute. I hope you guys take the time, or at least maybe if you have the time, I hope that you make this one. Just cleaning off the little spider web pieces. And now we're going to put his little ears on. Just going to hot glue those to the top. Now this you do have to hold for a little while until that glue sets up, because if not, they will just roll right off. Ask me how I know. And now we're going to put on I call it the snout. And then we're going to put on that little button nose piece in the middle. And then we're going to go in with our, excuse me, our paint. I think the raw sienna is actually Decor Art or Americana. And then the teddy bear brown is Apple Barrel. Just going to mix those two together to get the color brown that I want. You guys definitely use the color brown that you want. And I'm going to paint the entire thing. He is coming together so nice. And now I'm going to use this green ribbon because it was really good quality ribbon. It's really thick. Again, I purchased this at Joann's. And I want him to have a green hat and a green scarf. Now, I just freehanded this cone shape, as you could see me doing, but I should have measured it out because his ear was too big to fit inside the hat. I was going to stuff the hat with my, leftover car chamois, and I was going to just sit it on his ear and hot glue it on like I did the original Sammy. It did not work like that, so I had to switch gears and do something different. It's still cute, though. So here you see me stuffing in my scrap pieces of car chamois. And it's not going to work. You guys, thank you so much for joining me today for this video. As always, I am happy and blessed to have you here. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you like it enough that you will consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell as well so you never miss out on another cute and crafty DIY with D. You see, the hat does not fit on that ear. The ear is a little too big. The hat is a little too small. So I took the batting out, or not the batting, it's car chamois. And I'm going to take a piece of it and just give the hat some fur. And then I'm just going to hot glue it to the front of the ear. So it looks like it's sitting on the ear, like the ear is inside of it, but it's not. To all my ride or dies that have been with me from the beginning of my journey, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I'm always glad when you come back. So we're just going to get that glued into place, and I'm going to take some of that fiber fill or polyfill, whatever you want to call it, batting, and I'm going to make a little pom-pom for the top of the hat. I'm just going to cut out a piece of that chamois and wrap it around that polyfill and hot glue it together, make a little ball. Now we're going to add his little button eyes. And give his face some definition by adding the lines of the mouth. And now we're hot gluing his hat down. And I'm going to take that same really pretty green chevron ribbon, and I'm going to cut the wiring off of the sides, but I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to keep that because I'm going to use it in the next DIY. We're going to use this piece to make his scarf. Just adding a little dab of hot glue at the base of the neck so that I can make sure the scarf stays in place. I'm going to dovetail my ends just because I think it's cute. And then we're going to embellish a little bit. Going to put his buttons on his feet first, and then we'll work on embellishing the hat and the scarf. I have these little tiny red bells. I have them in red, green, silver, and gold. And I'm going to use the red ones and the gold ones for the scarf. And we're going to tack down the end of that scarf so it stays where I want it. Now I'm going to take some frosted greenery, little pine pieces. I'm going to tuck that down into the fur of the hat. And I'm also going to use 2 of those self-adhesive candy canes that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. I added tumbling tower blocks to the back so it would stand on its own. And this little guy is ready to be displayed. How cute is he? I absolutely love him just as much as I love Sammy, maybe even a little more, because he's free. You guys don't forget, comment down below. Let me know what you think of today's DIYs. As always, I'm happy to hear from you. Moving on to DIY number 2, I have an abundance of ribbon that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. I'll be using wood glue from Dollar Tree and the Jot Glue Stick, Dollar Tree as well. Some of the Dollar Tree birch pieces. I have some wooden stars from Hobby Lobby. I have my Rust-Oleum chiffon cream. Picked that up at Lowe's. And again, we have some of this fabulous free cardboard. And I've done Christmas trees like this before. I have my craft paper from Hobby Lobby. So again, as I was saying, I've done Christmas trees like this before. I'm just decorating these a little bit different. I think the ones I did last year, I did from MDF board, and they weren't chunky or thick like I can get with the cardboard. Cardboard is just easier to use, and it's easier on my hands to get it cut, and I can make it as thick as I want, and it's just free. You just can't get better than that. So I pre-cut all of my Christmas tree shapes, cut the cone shapes out, and I used 3 layers of cardboard per tree, and I varied the sizes of my trees. So I'm going to take my Craft Studio. I think is it? No, it's Paper Studio. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm going to take my Paper Studio craft paper and adhere it to the cardboard trees with my Jot Glue Stick. And then I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to paint my little stars using my Rust-Oleum chiffon cream. I didn't want them to be super bright white because I wanted these trees to be farmhouse, rustic, and old looking. So that's why I'm using the cream instead of a bright white. But you guys can do your stars however you want. Silver, bronze, gold, whatever matches your decor. Now I'm going to take these birch pieces and I'm going to stack 2 of them together. And then the other 2, I'm just going to go single with those. So I'm just using a little bit of wood glue and some hot glue to stack these together. And now I'm going to take my trees and trim up the paper. It's easier to do once you let it dry. And then I'm going to go back with my little Gator hand sander, and I'm going to just distress the edges of that paper. You see how when you use your sander, the edges of the paper turns white, and I like that look. And now that that's done, we're going to start embellishing these trees. So I have this red and white or red and like neutral tan colored gingham, and I'm just going to zigzag it down the tree. Just adding a little dab of hot glue just before crossing over and going back the other direction. Just back and forth, adding a little dab of hot glue every time I get ready to go in the other direction. These are so rustic and so pretty, and they're different from any ones that I've done. I've used the cone shape several times, but I've not decorated them like this before. And now that that one's done, I'm going to take this ribbon that I have, again, from Hobby Lobby. And for this one, I'm just going to twist that ribbon and make it have a little bit more dimension so it's not just sitting flat. And I'm just going to wrap it around and let it just kind of hang a little bit. We're going to do that all the way down this tree. And for the last one, I'm going to take this red ribbon with the stitching on the sides, and I'm just going to do a ruffle one ruffle straight down the middle of the tree. Just add a line of hot glue, lay your ribbon on top of it, and then pinch it. So I'm always trying to think of how I can cover up the corrugation. And again, it doesn't always have to be covered. If you guys like that look, you can definitely leave it that way. But I want to cover it. So I'm thinking, what looks rustic? What's going to go with this? I've already used burlap on Sammy Jr. So I decided to use some nautical rope. It was perfect for this DIY. So now I'm taking this really pretty green ribbon with the beige on it with the little stitching, and I'm going to make a bow for the top of the tree. And here's that wire that we cut off of the ribbon from the last DIY. We're going to use it to help make the bow for this DIY. I love it that it's wired because it's going to hold its shape, and it's going to help tie off this bow. So add some hot glue to the top of your tree and just get that in place. Then we're going to trim down the ends of this bow. And we're also going to trim the ends of that first ribbon that we used, the green and the beige. But that little piece that I trimmed off, I'm just going to make a little square with it and hot glue it to the center of this bow. Now for the other two trees, we're going to place our stars just with some hot glue. And now we're going to go ahead and place our trees using hot glue, wood glue, and one of the Dollar Tree cubes. We're going to place our trees onto the birch stems. That little wood cube gives your tree something to lean against so that it doesn't fall backwards. You need more surface area, so that little cube does that. I'm just going to take that Rust-Oleum chiffon cream, and I'm just going to distress the edges of my tree, distress that nautical rope, and also I'm going to do a little bit of dry brushing on the wood at the bottom. These are beautiful and ready to be displayed in your home. Super easy to make and so affordable. I love it. I decided the tree in the middle, since it didn't have a star and just had a bow, needed a little something else. So I just put a pine cone there, and it helped pull off that rustic farmhouse look that I was going for. So you guys, that's it. That's it for this video. I'm sorry there's only 2 DIYs, but Sammy Jr. took a little bit of a minute to make and put together, but he was well worth it. And I had to pull Sammy back out so you guys can see the resemblance of the two. One is made with wood and MDF. Absolutely adorable. And then we just made him over using all cardboard except for the tumbling tower blocks in the back that help him to sit up. But again, other than that, it's basically free, you guys. I love it. And the bear can be any color you want it to be. It doesn't have to be chocolate brown like mine. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so blessed and happy to have you here, as always. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. As always, I need you to be blessed. Stay safe. And until I see you in my next one, craft something beautiful today, you guys. Bye.